spent some time living in a town that I would say was very similar to what that town seemed like to me. And I watched it again, and I had a completely different take on it, and I loved the movie, and I've watched it many times since. And I kind of want to know how many of those characters, if any, you knew prior to that.
Well, they were all based on probably, I mean, I was really young when I wrote it, and I think I was 23 when I made it, so it was all, it wasn't that long, that much time hadn't passed from when I was living there to when I had made it, so they were all, everything in that movie, or most things in the movie, was based on either a character or some kind of something I'd seen or felt, and then maybe just kind of, I can't really explain because it's not documentary, and I don't really improvise in the way people think it's improvised. It's more like it's like chemicals. It's more like, I used to say it's like mistakist. It was a mistakist art. It's like they're memories up to a point of things that I've experienced, and then I take them somewhere else. It's like I try to shake it up and then document the explosion. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So they're all, everything is based on something, even just based on a feeling or a sound, and then I just bring it somewhere else. That's the way it made Gummo.
How close is this one scripted? Like, do you write dialogue?
Yeah,
Or
yeah. No, there was no script. Again, this wasn't even really supposed to be a movie. It was meant to be more like, it was photographs I had taken of my sister, and I would dress them up in these crude masks, and we'd go out late at night, and I would use all the worst cameras, disposable cameras, and we'd photograph them, you know, shitting on people's doorsteps. Just like setting things on fire. I mean, when I was a teenager, like one of my favorite things to do was just break glass. Just like go into parking lots and smash like fluorescent light bulbs, and like that was kind of like, it's like just trying to tap into that. So as much as there was a script, it was more just photographs of my sister breaking light bulbs and pooping. And then I looked at it, I was like, wow, this really looks good. These photos look nice and creepy and exciting to me. And then I thought, well, there was maybe a movie here. And so, but the movie that you'll see, it was shot in the order that it's presented. And there wasn't any kind of, there's no sense of coverage. It was just it's a collection of moments in the way that like a home movie would be. It's like a kind of, it's like very like liquid or something. It's just, so there was no right or wrong. That's why there wasn't a script really. It was just, there couldn't be any mistakes. Like how could anything be a mistake? It was all perfect. Yeah.
What do you get about being in your movies? Is it ego? Is it to act in concert with other actors? Or to be in your own movie? Or is it to see the film from a different perspective?
Well, you mean you're asking about this movie in particular? It didn't make sense conceptually unless I was in the film, because there had to be a camera present. It was about a document, like a traveling document, a home movie, let's say. And so if there was just a cinematographer, if there's a camera present, then there would, by nature would be, like if there was a DP, by nature it would be fake. So I thought that it had to be like a participant. The camera person needed to be part of the action. And so that was the real reason. And then also because I feel like if I'm going to ask any actors to do any of this stuff you're about to see, I would really like to do it as well. You know, just because it's fun. And yeah.
Since you're a celebrity now, do you ever get to meet like Ric Flair or anything like that?
Ric Flair the wrestler?
Yeah.
I never met that guy, but I met people like Ric Flair. Yeah.
Got one of the video elements. Would you say that it wasn't documenting at all, or was it? Because it gave me the feel that a lot
It
of
wasn't what?
just, like,
Documented?
straight up,
It's not what?
document. Like it seemed that you were just turning the camera on real people feeding themselves.
Yeah, I mean, that's maybe real people being themselves, I guess, I don't know. I can't really remember, you have to point out specific scenes, but a lot of times things look like they're real, but I'm just making them happen. And that is real. There's no such thing as this idea of cinema verite and truth. It's a lie. The future of documentary is probably just lies. Because what I care about is not even truth. What I care about is something that's much bigger than truth. And it's a kind of poetry that hovers above. It's something that enlightens and transcends the fuck out of it. So those moments that you think are real are probably not real. And those moments that you think aren't real maybe are more real. Yeah.
I was wondering if you might know Ken Park's going to get released on DVD.
I don't know nothing about the next
Or
series.
any chance with Larry
No,
Clark?
I don't know nothing. No. Never had a back say Never.
I think people get really, people either like your work or else they're really angered by it, like they're really, really angry. They say, well, I know people from that town, or I wouldn't want to see my little sister doing that.
Yeah.
Or, you know, and would you say that what makes people so angry is that even though, you know, it's not a documentary, like what, like something they'd see in one of your films is closer to reality than, say, even reality television, you know, and then it strikes a chord so close to, like, things they've actually seen but wouldn't want to really even admit, like, oh, part of my mind never even goes to that place, you know? I don't know.
Well, I just think it's hard for people to take things that are so great. It's like if you get too close to the sun, you're going to burn up.